Hello out there, music lovers, music collectors. I hope everyone is doing well out there and being safe. Just want to say I'm back with a little bit of a vinyl update of some records that I picked up this week from some of the local record stores that are doing the curbside service, or the other option is to mail them to you. So I thought I'd share about 4 or 5 records I believe that I picked up here. Before I begin, I also want to say that I would thank each and every one of you out there that are subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it very much. And before I begin, I wanted to share, it's not vinyl, but one of my favorite movies, and I would say that this movie is in my top 20 of favorite movies, but it's the movie Almost Famous. And I'm not sure if a lot of y'all have seen this movie, but I really do enjoy this movie. This movie just is, how can I say it to make sense? But this movie is very uh, humanistic. People with feelings and emotions, and people who love music, people who go on with journeys in their lives, and it's just a really good movie. I love the interaction between the actors in the movie, and there's some things that I can relate to, especially the character who is real young and is a writer and a music lover, which I can relate to that. I mean, I never written for any kind of music magazine or did any kind of writing that got really published anywhere, but I can relate to that character, and I can also relate about getting a bunch of records of different artists that have opened the door to my music taste and has led me on journeys on checking out other genres of musics, like, for one thing, prog rock, blues, jazz. So this is a movie that I really do enjoy watching. And if you've seen it, I think we may have known people like this in our lifetime growing up. Or maybe you can relate to some of the characters. But the movie does have some drama in it, a little bit of a almost tragedy thing. But, it just seems to have that point. One of the things I want to mention before I get too far off onto it is that I just really dig the little pieces of Led Zeppelin music in the movie. I think that's really cool in it. I like where it's put in the movie. A lot of the music that's put in this movie is like the perfect place for that. In my opinion, some movies, when they use music, it doesn't go with it, and I don't see the point in certain scenes of certain movies. I mean, I can't name any, but I felt like that doesn't need, in my opinion, didn't need no music there, or it has music that this doesn't seem to fit the movie for some reason. But what do I know? Anyway, I just wanted to share that. Almost Famous. If you have not seen it, excuse me, I recommend checking it out. One thing is that I've mentioned that I've shown this CD, but I've really been digging this CD a lot. I forgot how much. I really enjoyed Cheap Trick in Color CD. This has just been, I've been playing this a lot here lately. And one of my favorite, there's a lot of favorite tunes on here, but one of the songs that I really like to hear is, and it's because of the bass line, that's the track Big Eyes. Just good power pop rock and roll music. Now, I am going to show first the new records that I picked up from my local record stores, and at the end, there's some records that I've been playing over and over on my turntable this week, and I'll share those. But let me begin with one of my new picks up is a Cheap Trick pickup. It's their album Dream Police. This is new used, added to my collection. But I love this album. I do have it on CD, but it's one of those records that I like having it pretty much in every format. If I was to see it on cassette, I'd probably also get it too. But this is a really good rock and roll album. Now, I didn't remember this much, but I kind of picked it up because of the good price for it. But I don't remember too much of this album. But I picked up Cheap Trick's One on One with the different bass player at the time. But I don't remember too much about this album, but my local record store had a very good deal on it, so I picked it up as well. The other one is a soundtrack. Now this is a blind buy. I don't know much about it, but I do know Sergio Mendes. I hope I said that correctly. But he produced and arranged this, and it's original motion picture soundtrack. Pele, famous, very famous soccer player, excuse me. But intrigued me. Well, he's with this nice classical acoustic guitar, and I just got really curious. Now I do know Sergio Mendes. He is a very, very talented artist, and I do like a lot of his stuff. So I haven't played that one yet, so I don't know too much about it. The other one was a greatest hits, because sometimes we have those records, even though we have their individual albums of our favorite artists, but sometimes you just want to hear the hits, and this is one where I picked up. It's the Eagles' greatest hits, and it's in very good shape. But sometimes I just want to hear the hits. My all-time favorite Eagles song is One of These Nights. I never get enough of that song. And the last new one is, if I understand this right, this is Friday Music is the label. And it's Weather Report's self-titled album. I do apologize for the glare in here. I'm going to try to fix it to where it's not so glare. Too much sunlight is what the problem is. So, but this is their album, their self-titled album, and it's really good. I got into this album by the track Orange Lady. It does open up. Artwork's really nice for a reissue. And now I'm going to show some records that I've been playing over and over again this week on my turntable. It's about 4 of them. And then we come to a close to this video. But I had to play one of my all-time favorite Led Zeppelin albums, Led Zeppelin 3. It's a reissue. I have no problem with the way it sounds. I mean, I listen to records on a very cheap, low-budget stereo. And that's the way I've been. That's the way I've been. I mean, I've even had a turntable where I just had one speaker when I was young and before I became a teenager. So Led Zeppelin 3 is an all-time favorite. I love this album. I love that the second side has all these really good acoustic songs, pretty much. But yeah, it was good to visit this album again. And I love this band, Poo Poo Voo, and I don't know how you say this title, but this is a really, really good album. This album has a lot of really great improvising on the electric guitar. I mean, it's really good. But if you have not heard of this band, check them out if you can on YouTube. See if it's your cup of tea. And then I spin one of my favorite George Harrison album this week. And there was just, I forgot how many good songs there are. I don't know how well this did when it came out, but this is George Harrison's Extra Texture. And it's on Apple Records. But the songs that I really enjoy hearing again, what's the word? Going back and listening to is You, The Answers at the End, This Guitar Can't Keep From Crying, World of Stone, Can't Stop Thinking About You, Tired of the Midnight Blue, and I love this title of this one, Gray Cloudy Lies. Some really good songs. I recommend checking this if you can check this out. But it has Jim Keltner on drums. It has Jesse Ed Davis on guitar, Klaus Vorman on bass, and this album is just, I feel like this is one of his solid records. And the last record that I played a lot to this week on my turntable was another favorite, Barrett. Harvest Records. This is a reissue, released in 1970. If I understand, yeah, it has David Gilmour, Richard Wright, and drummer Jerry Shirley, adding to Syd Barrett's tunes here. One of my all-time favorites is, it's kind of a, I don't know, corny, funny title to me, is Gigolo Ant. I love that track. It's a really good song. Syd Barrett was very, very talented artist, a very good writer, very good the way he used chords and different styles of arrangements. And that's really cool. That's what I really like about him. But, oops. This is Barrett, and I've been playing this one a lot and really enjoyed this album. Well, that's what I have to show for this time. Again, thank you for stopping by and checking out my corny videos. And again, I wish everyone well and to be safe out there. I am going to do another video, and I've seen people do this kind of a topic. So I thought I'd take a stab at it and do a video, the next video I'll do, unless something else changes that. But I'm going to do a video of my favorite top 10 artists of all time. And that was a really hard one to do. But what I based it on was, before my teenage years, into my pre-teenagers year too, into my teenage, records that I started collecting by first by groups that I really, really do love, that I rebought their records again. But that's what I narrowed it down. Now that has increased, and it's really hard. I may change something on that, because every now and then I think about it and I said, oh, I forgot that band. But I mean, I do like a lot of music. I do like a lot of different genres now as I'm getting older. I really like a lot of world music, electronic, ambient music as well. But I wanted to make the list more about records in my early years of bands that I really enjoy and that I still enjoy. So I'm still working that out. So I'd like to share that with everyone. Well, I went on just a little bit longer than I wanted to. But again, appreciate you guys out there, music lovers, music collectors. You take care, and we'll see you next time.